Hi, this is Jason Major for Sweaty Heroes Comic Bargains. Today we have the letter C for comics. So here we go. So we got an issue of Cable from the original run. I'm a fan of the 90s X-Men more than the more modern X-Men. So we got a couple of Cables. Then this is where, like, another example of where you're going to want to double check your numbering, because obviously this series at least has the date on it, June 96, 32. This one does not have a date on it. It just says number 7. So you're going to have to look inside to usually the first page or the last page to find out what year it was released and what time. And that can get really confusing because sometimes they released a new series and reboot the series with a new number 1, even with a year jar. So an example of how I would cheat is, like I've said before, look at the creative team. Sometimes that'll give you a clue when you're just trying to sort them out in the beginning of when these books might belong. So logos, creative team, ads on the back sometimes are helpful too. All these are little tips to figure out where exactly this belongs. This is it's Cable by James Robinson, and James Robinson did a lot of Justice Society of America, so I'm kind of interested in seeing that run. This is Nicicia was one of the creators of Cable, along with Liefeld, and so it's cool to see him coming back to the book. I have 2 copies of this. Okay. These are all found in the, like I said, bargain bins where you can find 100, buy them at a quarter if you buy a whole long box type thing. Here's an issue 2. Cable and the X-Force. So that's Colossus, obviously. Another Cable. This is a great series, Luke Cage. I've read this series. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if we will get an Epic collection right now, but I wonder if they'd put it under Power Man and Iron Fist, but it is cool. It is a cool series. Luke Cage is a great character, and I also recommend the Netflix show, which is now streaming on Disney Plus, the Luke Cage series. Mark Waid did a run, a couple of runs on Captain America, and Ron Garney here was one of the greatest Captain America artists, I think, in the 90s. Dan Jurgens, who did The Death of Superman, did a run on Captain America. That's cool. I look forward to looking at that. Obviously, a lot of people are familiar with Ed Brubaker stuff, which is really excellent. And there you have the Winter Soldier storyline. So then you have this one has artist Butch Geist on it, and that's in our Brubaker. We have a couple of those, copies of those. Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. So now we're getting into some of the different spin-off series. So I put Steve Rogers Captain America under Captain America Steve Rogers, and when I looked inside, thankfully it said the same thing. And this is a Civil War II crossover. So, and Nick Spencer on Captain America. I really like Nick Spencer's run on Amazing Spider-Man as another recommendation. There is Captain Marvel, Legacy number 191, Carol Danvers. A lot of Carnage in here. And I found another issue of Carnage. And I don't know how he has an ongoing series, but I guess you can try. Web of Carnage, one shot, and I have 2 copies of that. And these are books that are normally $5.99 US, which is probably about $8 Canadian or a little bit more than that. I would say probably more like $8.50 Canadian. But this book you can find it at a dollar bin, brand new looking too. Now in this one, admittingly, is not like in a CGG perfect condition, but when you're finding a bargain bin title, so I would encourage you, don't worry about so much like that. If you're looking for bargain bins, if you really care about condition, great, but enjoy the bargains. Catwoman. This is more recent. 2020. Dawn of the Flamingo, Feast of the Flamingo, I mean. War of the Realms is a great crossover, and this is a crossover in this book, The Champions, which is kind of like similar to Young Avengers. Checkmate by Rucka was really great. It was a spy story, a spy organization with a white team and a black team. But like chess pieces. It was really cool. Children of Adam. This is clearly an X-Men spinoff. I read issue 1 of Children of the Vault already, and I was really excited about it. Basically, I would describe this as like an X-Men spinoff. It's an X-Men spinoff with characters that you might be unfamiliar with, but some really cool ideas. So this was actually a high recommend for me. The first issue. Chilling Adventures presents Weirder Mysteries, and I had to look under this because this is another example of like where you have to go. Is this under C, under Archie, under W, and it's under Chilling. So it's more of like a teenage, teen. I don't want to say horror, but kind of horror, paranormal Archie book. So that's there. More for teens and young adults than for kids. Another Civil War crossover. Clobbering Time's another example. Like, if I had like a comic book store, which I don't, I might put this under the Fantastic Four miniseries, but I'm going to put it under Clobbering, I guess, because Thing doesn't have enough books. So, Clue, the board game, had a comic by IDW, which was kind of fun. So I like these covers; these are cool. But if you've never seen the movie with Tim Curry, I would recommend that too. But these are all from IDW, and they are, as far as I remember, they're kid friendly. And then you have Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then finally you have Cruella, which is from 101 Dalmatians, published by Dynamite. This is based on the cartoon, not the movie. But Dynamite's been doing a series of comics based on the Disney villains, and they're also getting the license to DuckTales in 2024. So interesting that Marvel, even though it's owned by Disney, still doesn't do Disney comics. But that's your C section today. C is for comic bargains. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.